Right, first YouTube video that feels so strange to say. So in this video, I'm going to be talking about how to not get fat in a bulk. Now, when most people bulk, they tend to just pile on a load of body fat. They won't be in the bulk for a long amount of time as well because they've gained too much body fat, so they start getting uncomfortable. So basically, this video is going to go through how to actually go through a bulk without pressing the fuck it button or making the mistake of going too hard, too fast, feel uncomfortable, and then having to come out of that bulk very quickly. Now, I've done two sides of this. I've done a bulk where I have pressed the fuck it button, gained way too much body fat, made my next diet a lot harder. I've also done the other side of it as well, where I've gained muscle very slowly, gained a lot of muscle in that process, trained hard, ate better, and because of that, my body composition was in a much better place. Now, would I say that I've been perfect on my bulks? No, I haven't. What I teach my clients is the same with dieting, where every time that you diet, you will get better and better and better. It is the same within a bulk. Every time that you experience it, every time you go through the process, you will get better and better and better as that experience builds. I'm currently, I think, in my fourth or fifth bulk. This is the best that it's ever gone. It's the slowest that I've been going up in terms of scale work. I think I'm 4 or 5 weeks into it right now. All of you hear ricket in the background, I've got my washing on. This is the best that I've ever been on a bulk so far, and it comes from that experience, and it also comes from my education on nutrition developing as the years go on as well. The first thing that I want to start out with is that bulking doesn't mean eating everything in sight, that you take your eye off the ball, that you stop tracking, that you just essentially just do whatever you want. It's not that at all. It isn't a free-for-all. And also, the more calories, the less movement, the more scale weight goes up, doesn't necessarily mean more muscle. So let's get into the gist of it. What actually builds muscle? The main thing that builds muscle is progressive overload, and it comes through your training, how hard you're training, how often you're training, your frequency, your volume, and basically getting fucking strong. Obviously with control and all of that jazz. And of course, in order to progressively overload and to continue progressively overloading, you need to make sure that you're training hard. You need to make sure nutrition's in a good place to support recovery as well. So making sure that you have enough protein, making sure you have enough nutrients, and of course making sure you've got the energy to do so, i.e. your carbs. And then, as well as your nutrition part of your recovery, you also need to be taking time away from the gym. You also need to be looking after your joint health, your muscle health. You need to make sure that you're stretching, that you get enough sleep, you get enough water. Depending on your experience, you might need regular sports massages as well. All of these things come into your recovery, because if you're under recovered, you're also not going to be building muscle mass that you want to build, because by the time you go to do your next session, you might still be tired, fatigued, sore. And again, if you're under recovered, you also might start feeling a little bit bleh towards your training sessions as well. So yeah, if you were taking what I was saying before about the amount of calories that you're on or that you're eating, doesn't necessarily mean that you will build more or less muscle. If we look at that list, as long as you're getting adequate protein, if you're recovered, if you're able to continue progressively overloading, if you're able to continue training hard, you're able and your body's in a place to support muscle growth. The next thing that I want to talk about is your ideal rate of gain. So you don't actually need to be gaining weight fast at all. Usually it's about 0 or half a percentage of body weight wants to go on average, obviously not all the time, but on average every single week. Of course, we do account for scale fluctuations and things like that. If you go out for a few berries with your mates, scale weight is going to increase more dramatically because of water retention. And again, I know everyone wants to live a life as well. Any more than that, per week, it's just unnecessary fat gain. That is not going to muscle mass. Again, what I was saying before, the quicker that you gain weight, the more weight that you gain doesn't necessarily equal muscle mass. If you're gaining weight too quickly, it does it does lend itself to saying that you're gaining body fat too quickly. And a really good way of managing this and managing that slow rate of gain is to keep your surplus small, because a lot of people tend to absolutely whack up their calories, give themselves a really big surplus, when really you don't need that much, 100, 200 calories, as long as you're able to train hard, as long as you've got the energy, as long as you can continue progressively overloading, your calories are fine where they are. You don't need a big surplus at all. And in terms of progressive overload, in terms of the gym, you want to make sure you are tracking your progress it. If you are not following a plan in your growth phase, make sure you're following a plan. Make sure this plan is not changing throughout your growth phase. You're not hip hopping about. You are sticking to one set plan. You are writing your numbers down so you remember them, writing your reps down so you remember them, so you know with certainty every single week, every single month, your weights are going up and you are getting stronger and stronger and stronger. I would also recommend potentially training with some people who are stronger, they have more muscle mass than you, they've potentially got more experience than you as well, just to have someone there to push you that little bit harder as well. You can also invest in a coach who you can give training videos to make sure form, execution, as well as your intensity is in a really great place as well. And as a bit of a shameless plug, I am an online coach. If you go to my Instagram, you can check out my Instagram, see how I work, and if you're interested, just shoot me over a message. Next thing that I want to go over is activity levels and your cardiovascular fitness, because a lot of people, when they enter into a bulk, they completely get rid of all their cardio. I have been there myself, and they have piss poor steps and they end up just being a couch potato. That is a really quick way to, again, gain a shit ton of body fat. Whereas what I do myself and what I encourage my clients to do as well, keep cardio in their plan, make sure heart health is in a good position, to make sure recovery in between sets are in a good position. It's also great for mental health. It's also great for, I have a few clients who are spicy brains like myself, neurodivergent, and it's really good for them as well to help them focus with the productivity, mental health as well. I definitely advise to keep some cardio within your plan as well, because yeah, we want to make sure that expenditure is not going too low, obviously with that surplus, because again, like, your rate of gain is going to not only be too fast, but also you want to make sure that your health is still in a good place throughout your bulk as well. So if yourself or you know someone who is going through a bulk, these are just some red flags that I personally would address with my clients. First of all is eating anything that you want just because you're bulking. Again, your nutrition quality goes down, the amount of fruit and veg that you have goes down. Again, activity levels, steps go down as well. They are visibly losing shape and definition every single week, and the way that people feel as well. So if they're mentioning that they're feeling sluggish, that they're feeling bloated, that they just don't feel the best in themselves, these are all red flags on a bulk, and things that can be prevented with good activity levels, good nutrition, not too high of a bulk, and just essentially just not being a dickhead in this phase of your journey as well. So I hope that helped educate you about a bulk, how to maintain a relatively good body composition within a bulk as well, and to stay in your bulk for a very long period of time, because at the end of the day, as I said, it's not about how much weight you gain, it's not about how many calories you end up going up to, it's about how long you can be in that bulk before obviously body composition isn't the best and you do have to do a mini cut or a diet again as well. And the best body compositions and the best are the people who can stick it out for the longest, and the people who do follow those tips, like eating well and staying active and all that fun stuff as well. Thank you for listening to me ramble. Make sure you do, I don't know, I'm new to YouTube, so do all the things, do all the interaction, follow me on Instagram as well if you're not already, and then yeah, I'll see you on the next one.